Hmm. What should I eat tonight for dinner? Hmm. Let's check the refrigerator. I don't have too many things. I should go to the market today. That's a great idea. What should I eat today? What should I buy? Should I buy cheese? I shouldn't buy meat tonight. Should I buy some olives? Should I buy some fruits? I think I should buy vegetables. I think that's healthy. There we go. Here's some spinach and eggplants. I'll buy those. Here's some grapes for dessert. Hello everyone, this is Bob and welcome to today's lesson. You just watched the video where I was doing something. What was I doing? Where was I? And why was I doing it? Let me know right now. So yeah, if you don't know by now, I was using the words should and shouldn't. These are modals that we can use for giving advice, asking for advice, giving some suggestions, and other usage. So let's talk about the video real quickly. In the video, what was I asking? What should I eat? Or what should I make for dinner, right? So I was sitting on my couch, or laying on my couch actually, and I got hungry or was thinking about dinner, something I often do, and something that I often ask myself, what should I eat tonight? Right? So you can sometimes ask yourself these questions. What foods did you see in the video? Let me know. Things like what? What are these foods like eggplants and olives and things like that, right? You can give a little pause and think of some more. You can go back and watch that video again, or I'm going to let you see it right now, actually. Let's go. What should I eat tonight for dinner? Let's check the refrigerator. I don't have too many things. I should go to the market today. That's a great idea. What should I eat today? What should I buy? Should I buy cheese? I shouldn't buy meat tonight. Should I buy some olives? Should I buy some fruits? I think I should buy vegetables. I think that's healthy. There we go. Here's some spinach and eggplants. I'll buy those. Here's some grapes for dessert. All right. So should, shouldn't, what are the usage? How do we use this modal? Should, shouldn't are used for the following: giving advice or sometimes opinions, recommendations, suggestions. It's giving you lots of words. Necessary things, obligation, question mark? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, so when we give advice or opinions, we can use should, but disclaimer, warning, before you give advice, just know that giving advice is difficult. I feel like now more than ever, advice is probably something that not everybody wants, because everybody now is an expert. I'm getting off topic. So think before giving advice. It's best when people ask for your opinion, okay? Rather than you just giving advice, okay? So yeah, be careful with that. So what's the situation? Let's look at the situation. I have been struggling with understanding English in the class. What should I do? This is a question you can ask. I've been struggling with understanding English in the class. What should I do? So the question would be something like, she maybe just doesn't understand something grammatical. Maybe, whoa, it's a beard. That's weird. Did I press B? No. We're back. So maybe it's something about her listening ability. Maybe it's something about grammar. Maybe it's something about writing. Who knows? But let's focus. Let's talk about listening right now. So think about some ways that you could give her, or some advice or suggestions. Advice that you could give her about being able to understand English in the class. All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes to either write these down, say them out loud, scream them in your room, ask your brother or sister, ask your classmates, whatever you need to do, go and find me some advice. And we'll be right back after that. All right, so somebody is struggling with understanding English in the class. What should they do? What should she do? This lady specifically. And so maybe you could give her some advice like, hey, what do you do? Maybe you should watch Netflix and use subtitles, but English subtitles instead of Turkish subtitles. That could be a good advice. Maybe you should listen to a podcast or find a podcast that you like. And the video should be, or the podcast shouldn't be too difficult. And it should be just at your level if you can do that. So anybody have any advice on any Netflix shows or podcasts that they listen to that could help her? Let me know in the comments or something. All right. We're going to move on to the next part. Shouldn't, the usages. We can give recommendations, right? So the recommendations aren't always about advice. You can give somebody a suggestion, especially if they're asking for one. And so this isn't very, I would say, things that aren't as important. You can make suggestions with should. So here's the situation. What should we do? Right? So we should go for a walk. This is an answer you can give, and you can give a reason, right? It's nice outside. You can flip it around. It's nice outside. We should go for a walk. We should return home. It's getting dark. So this is just giving reasons for different suggestions and things like that. This might be advice as well. There's a fine line between advice and suggestions sometimes. So you be the judge of that. You can become the expert. So here's a young man, and he's sitting there, and he's thinking about what to do. So I'm bored. What should we do? So there's a few people, I guess. And so, yeah, let's look at him. I like to do these activities where you look at a picture and you maybe figure out the scenario. So it looks warm outside. He's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and there's maybe some palm trees in the back. So it looks like it's warm. So I think the suggestion I would give him is you should go to the beach, or you should go swimming, or you should go play volleyball. You should do something like that, right? Maybe I wouldn't tell him to, I don't know, go read or something. Maybe it's just too nice or too hot. So I wouldn't give the advice you should read, but I do give the advice to everybody that they should read. So you should read. What are other things that you can think about that this young man can do? Let me know. Say it out loud. Write it down on a piece of paper. Share it with your teacher. All right, shouldn't, other usages, things that are necessary, obligations. And this is question mark. The textbook has two different answers. So I'm going to go with what I think. And sometimes things that seem necessary might not be so necessary to other people. So should you use should for things necessary? The book says yes in the beginning, and then it says no at the end. So let's look at the scenario. that the book talks about. Driving on the right side, let's say in Turkey, not in North Cyprus, where I just went. People drive on the left side there, just like the British and the Japanese. Should I drive on the right side, on the right in Turkey? So is this a recommendation or an advice? And if you said yes, you should, I would say this isn't strong enough, right? If you drove on the right side in Turkey, you would maybe get into physical injuries, and then you should go to the hospital. No, you have to. So let's think of the word. Oh, I said it. Let's go back. I'll undo that. So yes, you should. Okay, I would say that this is wrong. This isn't strong enough. If you did drive on the right side, you most likely will get into a car accident or be stopped by the police. So I would say that this is an instance where should, which is kind of a little softer, should not be used because it's like a law or an obligation or a duty, something that you, what's the word? What's the modal that we use? The auxiliary verb, I mean. All right, hopefully you guessed this. Yes, you have to, okay? And this is correct because this is something that is completely necessary, absolutely necessary, and something that you have to do in Turkey. Maybe not in North Cyprus, but in Turkey, you have to do this. Otherwise, you will be seriously injured in the hospital, or the police will stop you, or other drivers will honk, and press their horn. All right, so there we are. Should I drive on the right side? I should have showed this picture. And yes, you have to drive on the right side. So you shouldn't even ask, should I drive on the right side? You should ask, do I have to drive on the right side? So yeah, if you're traveling and you're maybe thinking about renting a car, you should ask these questions ahead of time and look at these cars as they drive on the road there. All right, the second part, we're going to be looking at the different forms for should and shouldn't. Let's get into this. Should is a modal. What does that mean? Does anybody know? So modals do not change, as in you don't like add an ed, you don't add an s to them. They don't change because of the tense or anything like that. So it shouldn't be I should eat something if you're going to try to use the past tense. There's a different form for that, and we're not going to talk about it. So the form will be subject plus should plus infinitive. Sometimes I call this the base form. Sometimes people call it the dictionary form. I like to call it verb 1 or V1 if I'm writing it out quickly. I should sleep, okay? Especially if I'm tired or I haven't slept in a few days. I should sleep. Could be stronger than that. But sometimes you ask yourself this question, should I sleep now? The answer usually is probably yes. We don't say I should sleeping. Okay, you use the infinitive form here. For negative, should in the negative form is subject plus should plus not plus infinitive, or you could use shouldn't. Okay, so should not or any non-usage, non-shortened forms, we usually like to use these for formal writing. Okay, so think about that when you're writing an essay. That you should probably use should not and not shouldn't, unless it's people talking. Never mind. So subject plus shouldn't plus infinitive, used for everyday speech. So when you are talking in class, I highly recommend you use the shortened form because it just kind of comes out of your mouth quicker. Okay, so example, I shouldn't drink coffee late. Correct. Coffee stays in your body for like 16 hours. I shouldn't drink coffee late. No. So there wouldn't be a past tense of this. So don't change that form. Your teacher will tell you. Should questions. Should plus subject plus infinitive, blah, blah, blah. Question mark. Should we go shopping? Of course. We should always go shopping. Should go we shopping? No. So remember when you do these questions, we usually flip the order of things. We either change the modal auxiliary, flip it around. So yeah, remember that. And this is a little bonus, a little extra negative shouldn't questions. I just wanted to include this just because it's not in the textbook and maybe you should know. So you're going to be expressing concern or doubt. And sometimes it feels like nagging, like this is maybe the way your mother speaks to you or somebody who's older. Maybe your teachers talk to you this way. Shouldn't plus subject plus infinitive. Okay, blah, 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 question mark. Shouldn't you drive slowly? Or shouldn't you drive slower, maybe? I don't know if you guys drive. You probably don't drive. But you might hear your mom or dad saying this to your dad or your mom, something like that. And so, yeah, it usually kind of feels like you're kind of concerned about something, but you don't want to be completely direct. You don't want to say, drive slower. You want to be a little more, I don't know, indirect. And we do not use should not you drive slowly. Just never happens. Okay, so you can ask something like, shouldn't you drive slower? All right, next we're going to talk about responses. These are pretty easy. Yes, I should. Or yes, you should. Yes, we should. Yes, they should. Yes, he should. And no, he shouldn't. There shouldn't be an X on that. That should be green. So those are the ways that you would say it. No, he should not. If you want to be really strong. So, yeah. And I think that's it. When you say should, it should be kind of shortened. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be like I should go, unless you really want to emphasize it. But I think that's enough for now. And if you go to page 148 in the language bank, you'll find this handy dandy chart. Give advice, recommend, and it says you have to, not should, when something is necessary. You have to drive on the right, not you should drive on the right. And when you're giving advice, you should try this soup, not advice, recommendations. You should try this. You should to try this soup. No, don't ever do that. So yeah, look at this, study this, memorize it, put it in your brain. Think about ways that you could give advice to somebody if a friend asks you about something in particular, maybe about their health, maybe about sickness and illness, maybe about school, maybe about relationships. Who knows? Excuse me. All right. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a shouldn't practice. This is in your textbook on page 149 in the language bank. So yeah, complete questions 1 through 6, then match them with the replies A to F. Excuse me. Number 1, I don't have much time. Should I send Kirsten an email? And the answer would be D. So you can read the context, figure out from the clues what you should say, what you should say. Oh, no, you shouldn't. Phone her. It's quicker. I'm just going to read them to you. Why not? Ben doesn't like the color of his his phone. I don't know. Blank, get a new one. And what should the response be? Look at my hair. It's a mess. Get a haircut. Some students never say anything in class. Speak more. 5, my daughter wants to travel in South America. Learn Spanish. There are so many words we don't know. Buy an electronic dictionary, and the replies would be, yes, you should. It's too long. Yes, they should. It's important to practice. No, he shouldn't. The old one is fine. D, we already did that, so don't do that one. E, yes, she should if she has enough time. That's called a tongue twister. Yes, she should if she has enough time. There's a lot of sh's. And F, yes, you should get an English one. Okay, So go ahead, do that. I'm going to give you some time. You can pause the video and then go ahead and check your answers. And boom, these are not the answers. These are the answers. Here you go. I guess now I'll read it again. Ben doesn't like the color of his mobile. His mobile? I don't know. Should he get a new one? No, he shouldn't. The old one is fine. 3. Look at my hair. It's a mess. Should I get a haircut? Yes, you should. It's too long. I'm just having fun now. 4. Some students never say anything in class. Should they speak more? B. Yes, they should. It's important to practice. 5. My daughter wants to travel in South America. Should she learn Spanish? E. Yes, she should if she has enough time. Of course she should. No. I mean, everyone should learn languages. Number 6, there are so many words we don't know. Should we buy an electronic dictionary? Of course, there's so many words we don't know. The answer is F. Yes, you should get an English one. English to English. I think that's what it means. All right, what do you think about those answers? I don't know. I never used the word mobile or mobile. My mobile device. Weird English. Anyways, the British. Who knows? I'm from America. Okay, the next one we're going to be doing, the next practice is still on page 149. It's letter B. Complete the sentence with should or shouldn't and a verb from the box. So we have these verbs get, go, have, stay, try, wear, change. And what form of the verb will we be using? The infinitive form. Not with to, though. I don't know. I don't like that word infinitive. I call it verb 1. Anyways, number 1, my camera's very old. I should get a new one. You should. Number 2, you blank this drink. It's delicious. Number 3, do you think I blah 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 my money here or at the airport? 4, you black. I think it doesn't look good on you. Sorry. 5, they blank by taxi. It's too expensive. 6, she looks tired. She blah holiday. Number 7, we blah out in the sun too long. We'll get sunburnt. Of course you will. All right. So go ahead, do the answer these questions with the verbs using should or shouldn't. It's up to you. It's not up to you. There's real answers. We're going to check them right after this. So go ahead, pause this video, and then unpause it when you are done. All right? Here we go. All right. So you are back, and these are the answers. I don't want to show them one by one. That's fine. So yeah, I'll read the answers to you so you can hear them. Number 2, you should try this drink. It's delicious. Number 3, do you think I should change my money here or at the airport? You should never change your money. You should just pull it out from an ATM. Number 4, you shouldn't wear black. I think it doesn't look good on you. Sorry. You should never give advice like that, especially to women. Number 5, they shouldn't go by taxi. It's too expensive. Yes, if you have an Uber or something like that, you should use that instead. Number 6, she looks tired. She should have a holiday. No, you should never say that to anybody directly, okay? And that's kind of gossiping. Number 7, we shouldn't stay out in the sun too long. We'll get sunburnt. Of course you will, but you should use sunblock and you should make sure to get sun because vitamin D is very important for your health. All right. And we're finished. So the last part, should, shouldn't, the conclusion. Just wrap it up real quick. Should is a modal, which means something. It means it doesn't change. It's not like have to, where it becomes had to. It's not like the be verb, which changes from I am to I was, things like that. That's an auxiliary verb. Use it for advice. Use it for suggestions. Use it for recommendations. I should eat. I shouldn't eat. These are the forms. Should I eat? Yes, I should. No, I shouldn't. And yeah, you can sometimes, I mean, if it's something necessary that you don't want to be pushy about, you can use should. Okay, that's not 100% absolute rule, but that's it. Thanks. Any questions? I use the slides go. I have to give attributions when I use it. So if you have any questions, ask me or ask your teacher. And I hope that you learned something today and that you should go and study this more. So thank you very much and have a great day. Bye.